The State Capture Commission of Inquiry is continuing to hear Eskom-related evidence. Let's cross to that live now.
The entity which was engaging in a loan back scam involving the Gupta enterprise, including using Estina as one of the payees. And then finally, worth mentioning is Arktos Trading Pty Limited, which is a South African company, and that was registered with registration number 2011/002541/7. That company was was beneficially owned by Vasaduma Resources Pte Limited, a company incorporated in Singapore. On accessing the Singapore company records, I was able to establish that one of the two directors of Vasaduma Resources was a World Window Company director as well. His name is Anil Kumar Misra. It's very clear from the Gupta Leaks records themselves that Arktos Trading was the vehicle through which the World Window Group conducted the majority of its investments into the Gupta enterprise, including mining investments. And providing another Gupta link is the address that was registered for Arktos Trading. The registered address for Arktos Trading is 144 Grayston Ridge, Catherine Street, Sandton, which is an address that's shared with a number of other Gupta enterprise companies.
Mr. Holden, can I ask you to go to bundle 6A, page 498, which is some financial statements for Arktos for 2011?
What's the page number?
It is 499, Chair, of bundle 6A.
Okay.
Annexure B. And you've already mentioned to the Chair that the holding company of Arktos was Vasaduma Resources. One sees that at page 499, where it says incorporated in Singapore. Can I ask you to turn to page 512, still part of the same document? And under 4, investment in mining rights, can you just note to the Chair what we see there and what the significance is?
Certainly, Chair. What we see at paragraph 4 there of the financial statements ending 2011 is a first line. It reads investment in mining rights, and the name of the company is Adwala Coal Proprietary Limited, and the carrying amount is 165 million rand. And the name underneath that is Tegeta Exploration and Resources Proprietary Limited, and the carrying amount as of 2011 is 197,852 million rand. 197,852,050 rand. Those two amounts added together are 362 million rand, 852,050 rand. The relevance here, Chair, is that both Adwala Coal and Tegeta Exploration are Gupta enterprise companies, which would very clearly indicate that Arktos has undertaken an investment into Gupta enterprise companies, and therefore the two enterprises, the World Window Group and the Gupta enterprise, are operating together.
And then to develop that point 2 pages down, page 514, under 11, other financial liabilities.
Certainly, Chair. At other financial liabilities, it indicates a number of entries. It says, at amortized cost, a Bank of Baroda loan of 283,611,482 rand, which the financial statements indicate were secured by investments in Tegeta Exploration and Adwala Coal, with interest charged at 9% linked to prime and repayable quarterly in 20 equal installments, effective from 28 February 2012. The next entry of relevance is JIC Mining Services. It indicates an unsecured loan, interest-free and repayable on terms agreed annually for 44 million rand.
And what is JIC Mining?
JIC Mining is the formal name for Westdawn. Westdawn, it traded as Westdawn, but the underlying corporate entity was JIC, which is a Gupta enterprise company. Beneath that, we have JJ Trading. It indicates an unsecured loan with interest charged at 2% per annum and payable on terms agreed annually. And
can you just remind the Chair who JJ Trading is?
Certainly. JJ Trading is a company registered in the UAE that was beneficially controlled by the World's Window Group and was one of the primary vehicles through which kickbacks were paid in relation to the early phase of the Transnet kickback scheme. That indicates a loan amount of 9,564,773 rand. Thereafter, there is a loan indicator for Oak Bay Investments, an unsecured loan, interest-free and repayable on terms agreed annually for 96 million rand. And then finally, IMR General Trading, an unsecured loan where interest is charged at 2% per annum and payable on terms agreed annually for 1.246 million and 1,246,922 rand. IMR General Trading, Chair, is a company that was ultimately owned by the World's Window Group.
Then, Mr. Holden, can we just describe the people who we will come across in relation to the World's Window Group, maybe starting with Mr. Piyush Goyal, who we've met already, but you describe his World's Window role at page 223 of Bundle 6A, paragraph 139. 223.
Chair, the key figure here is in the World's Window Group for our investigation was Mr. Piyush Goyal. Mr. Piyush Goyal was the chairperson of the World's Window Group during the period in which the Transnet kickbacks were paid. I should mention, Chair, that when this particular story and the connection to World's Window Group was made public, the World's Window Group effectively erased Mr. Piyush Goyal from their website, and he was no longer a director in the World's Window Group. What I was able to do is to look at archived copies of their website, which confirmed that previously, and during the time in which we're considering he was the chairperson, and he was a director of a number of different World's Window Groups at that time, World's Window Group companies at that time.
Can you then go to paragraph 140 over the page on 224 of 6A, where you describe other World's Window employees who you come across in the Gupta leaks?
Certainly, Chair. The first individual I indicate there is Shuchi Bansal, who was styled as the executive assistant to the chairman's office, therefore the executive assistant to Piyush Goyal. An individual by the name of Amit Agrawal, who was an accountant at the World's Window Group, and he corresponded extensively with Ashu Chola in relation to payments made by Everest Metals FCE in South Africa in relation to a loan-back scheme. Pooja Puri, a World's Window employee who has corresponded extensively with Ashu Chola, again regarding payments made by Everest Metals FCE. And then finally, Lalit Tawari, a World's Window employee who the Gupta leaks record show was involved in running Arktos and operated an Arktos email address. Interestingly, Mr. Tawari appears to become integrated into the Gupta enterprise as of 2014. My search of the records indicates that from at least March 2014, he was operating an Oak Bay address and an Algosolve address from at least August 2014.
Then, if I can take you to Annexure Z, which starts at, let me just get my reference, I think it's bundle 6A, 597, where you have a collection of Gupta leaks documents showing Piyush Goyal's role in relation to the Gupta enterprise. The one document that I would ask you to describe to the chair is at page 615 of bundle 6A. And can you tell the Chair what that is?
Certainly, Chair. This is an email, again, emanating from the Gupta leaks. It's sent from Beverly Hardy, an employee of Sahara, to Jolene Rue, also an employee of Sahara, on the 4th of January 2011, with the subject TNA dinner table allocation, and that stands for the New Age dinner table allocation, and it attached a spreadsheet with the name.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chaskos, I think I've lost you. The last page number I had was 597.
Sorry, Chair, we've gone down to 615.
615.
Still in the same bundle 6A.
Okay. Yes, I've got it.
And maybe if you can just take the Chair again to the covering email that you were describing, it's 615.
Yes.
Certainly, Chair. Again, this is an email that comes from the Gupta leaks. The email is sent from Beverly Hardy at a Sahara address. She was a Sahara employee. To Jolene Rue, another Sahara employee. The date is the 4th of January 2011. And the subject is TNA dinner table allocation. And TNA is an acronym for the New Age. The attachment reads TNA dinner table allocation XLSX, which is an Excel spreadsheet.
And then if you go over the page to 616, is that the attachment or the beginning of the attachment?
That's correct, Chair.
And can you take the Chair quickly through 616 and then get to 617 where the critical information is for our purposes?
Certainly, Chair. This is a spreadsheet that sets out the ways in which seating was to be allocated at the particular event that's described here. With number one, the first table being described as the President's table, and as we can see there, the number one entry there is President Jacob Zuma, and it provides a number of individuals who'd also be sitting at a table with the former president. Table 2 is Atal table, which I take to mean Atal Gupta, who was the chairman of the New Age at that time, and he's sitting with a number of notable individuals, including Malusi Gagaba. The third table was the Dudazani table, which I take to mean Dudazani Zuma, and that's clarified by the fact that the first entry there is provided as MD Mabangela, and we know that he was a director in Mabangela Investments. And it provides a number of different individuals who are sitting there. And then turning to the entry of relevance here on page 617 is table 6, which is described as Piyush table. And we can see definitely that this refers to Piyush Goyal because he is the number one entry under that table allocation.
And what's happening at table 5? Is it one person on table 4? Or maybe it was reserved for him and whoever he brought along?
I think so. It's not entirely clear which Mr. Zuma it's referring to, I'm afraid, here.
Yes. Okay.
Going to Piyush's table, table 6, can you identify any people who were to be seated with Piyush Goyal?
Certainly, we have at entry number 3 was the Deputy President, Kgalema Motlanthe, although slightly misspelt. And then of interest to this discussion is the entry number 7, which is advisor to Min PE, which I understand to mean the advisor to the Minister of Public Enterprises, and the first name is given as Siyabonga. I take that to mean Siyabonga Mahlangu, who has given evidence before the Commission already. And then the entry there is at number 8 is DG Public Enterprise, which I take to mean Chedeso Motana, who I think has also given evidence before the Commission.
Then very briefly, because the two World's Window entities that we'll be focusing on are JJ Trading and Century General Trading. Can you briefly describe to the Chair the relationship between JJ Trading and Century General Trading and the World's Window Group?
Certainly, Chair. The Century General Trading and JJ Trading are both registered in the UAE. The Gupta leaks makes it very plain that CJT and JJT are both effectively being run by the World's Window Group at the direction of, amongst others, Piyush Goyal. And it was these two companies that were central to entering into kickback contracts with various Chinese rail manufacturers. And at page 225 of your report, still bundle 6A, you refer to Ramratan Jagati. Can you describe to the Chair what you know of Ramratan Jagati? Certainly, Chair. Ramratan Jagati appears in the Gupta leaks on 3 separate occasions. He's also listed on LinkedIn and various other websites, referring to JJ Trading as the managing director or director of JJ Trading.
Thank you. Then, to move now to the specific contracts involving JJT and CGT of which we're aware. The first is a contract which is attached as Annexure A at page 298 of Volume 6A. Can you take the Chair to that contract? And we have seen it before, but if you take the Chair in some more detail now that we're going to be focusing on that contract.
That's 298, huh?
298 of 6A, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, this is styled as an agent agreement, which is dated the 13th of June 2011. Party A is given as Shanghai Xinhua Heavy Industries Co. Limited, which, as I mentioned yesterday, is also referred to by a separate acronym, which is ZPMC. Party B is JJ Trading FCE, and it provides a PO Box address for JJ Trading in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. And the subject is provided as contract for two ship-to-shore container cranes, STS, including repositioning of existing Noel cranes and additional 5 numbers ship-to-shore cranes for Transnet South Africa. And slightly further down on that page, under paragraph 1.1, provides the name of the project, which then indicates the formal name that was given to the project by Transnet Port Terminals, which is given the code lowercase I, uppercase CLMHQ 0762.
And then if you can take the Chair to clause 2 of this contract. At the bottom of that page, 298.
Certainly, Chair, at clause 2 it reads, with a view to facilitating the bidding for the project and other relevant matters, Party A hereby appoints Party B as the agent of Party A to assist Party A in handling the bidding for the project and other relevant matters as per the terms and conditions of this agreement, and Party B hereby accepts the appointment of Party A.
So Party B is JJ Trading. Can we look at its obligations under clause 4 on page 299?
Certainly, Chair. At clause 4.1 indicates that the obligations of Party B to provide information about the project to Party A, to purchase the tender documents and submit the documents to Party A, to provide copies of the local laws and safety codes related to the project and information pertaining to local customs. At 4.3, to assist the personnel of Party A in said country for the duration of the contract, including issuing invitation letters, communications with the buyer, hotel reservations, airport pickup, and send-off. At 4.4, to communicate with the buyer on behalf of Party A and take part in all necessary activities in relation to the project. All declarations, commitments, and or guarantee made by Party B to the buyer or any other act of Party B that might expose Party A to certain obligations shall be approved in writing by Party A in advance. At 4.5, to promote the project in favor of Party A. At 4.6, to provide an interpreter for Party A's personnel in the non-English speaking countries at the stage of bidding, not contract execution. At 4.7, to ensure that Party A's personnel can legally and uninterruptedly execute this contract. In cases of interruption, such as from union problems, Party B shall make positive efforts to eliminate the disturbance and make sure the contract can be...
All right, the State Capture Commission of Inquiry there, just looking into the Estina Dairy Farm. Paul Holden, their researcher employed at Shadow World Investigations in London, giving further testimony as he has in previous sessions. We're going to check in now with my